On paper, this should be a blowout. Michigan remains a 3-touchdown favorite over Rutgers, which comes in winners of 2 in a row. The Scarlet Knights are a better team than last season, but that's not saying much either. Offensive production remains an issue, as it does for Michigan, making this a potential candidate for the first shutout of the season. The question then pivots to Michigan and its floundering offense. How many points can it score? How badly can it beat one of the worst teams, still, in the Big Ten? Keep scrolling for a scouting report on Rutgers. Back. Macomb native Giovanni Resigno, a redshirt junior, has started the last 2 games for Rutgers. He hasn't given the Scarlet Knights a ton of help, throwing for 87 yards and a touchdown, but he didn't turn the football over either. Resigno turned in similar numbers the week prior, attempting just 10 passes for 89 yards, but rushed 7 times for 41 yards. He has the ability to scramble when needed, but he isn't a huge playmaker either. All signs point to Michigan sticking with 5th-year senior John O'Korn, who was okay in the loss to Penn State last week. He continues to hold on to the football a tad too long, but he hasn't gotten much help either in the way of pass protection or his receivers. Edge, Michigan, barely. Running backs. A 5th-year senior Gus Edwards, pictured, leads Rutgers' running attack, which actually isn't half bad. It ranks 8th in the Big Ten, averaging almost 168 yards per game. Edwards ranks 9th among all league rushers, 69.6 IPG, posting back-to-back games of 90 yards or more. He broke a season-high 74-yard run for a touchdown last week against Purdue. Behind him is Robert Martin and Raheem Blackshear, 2 backs capable of big yard plays. Blackshear, a true freshman, has carries of 33 and 41 yards, respectively. Michigan looks to get back on track after just 103 yards on the ground at Penn State. Junior Karen Higdon continues to get a bulk of the carries, while 5th-year senior Ty Isaac carried the football 6 times for 36 yards last week at Penn State. Still waiting on a game in which 2 of the backs have big games. Edge, even. Receivers. Just like the passing game, there isn't a whole lot there for Rutgers, which ranks dead last in the Big Ten in receiving yards, 133.6. Junior tight end Jerome Washington has the most catches, 19. A 5th-year senior Janarian Grant has the most receiving yards, 167, and 5 players are averaging a catch a game. The Scarlet Knights like to get their running backs involved, with Gus Edwards pulling 9 catches for 74 yards, but no one is averaging more than 33 yards receiving per game. It's been a similar problem at Michigan, which has several different targets to choose from, but no one reliable. Grant Perry had 3 catches for 46 yards against Penn State, and the offense continues to get true freshman Donovan Peoples-Jones involved. But others have been hit and miss at best, making life difficult for quarterback John O'Korn. Edge, Michigan. Offensive line. Rutgers has improved its rushing attack by more than 22 yards per game over last season and cut down the number of sacks from nearly 3 a game to 0.9. The line has matured some, led by 5th-year senior left guard Dorian Miller, pictured, and shown the ability to get that extra push. The Scarlet Knights rushed for 326 yards in a September 16 win over Morgan State and 274 yards 2 weeks ago at Illinois. Look for improvement from the Michigan front 4 this time, after the group was embarrassed to the tune of 7 sacks on John O'Korn last week at Penn State. Not all of them were their fault, but a leaky line has been the story all season long. Juwan Bushell-Beatty will probably get the start at right tackle again, a position he slowly won over. Edge, Rutgers.